And then there was one race remaining. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Turn 1. I'm Sean Fitz. Thanks so much for being here tonight. The American Sim Racing Tour takes on Talladega Championship Racing right here on Turn 1. Again, I'm Sean Fitz. Thanks so much for tuning in. It is a two-driver run to the championship here tonight. It sounds like we've had a couple folks, it looks like, well, let's talk about the points. Let's just start from the top. Rob Duvedek right now, currently sitting P1 of the points, able to shake off a win and running pretty strong in that 99 car. He is currently leading the points as we know it. Now, Will Weber, that driver, currently sitting P2 in the points, but unfortunately, due to a circumstances really outside of his control, having some severe weather in his home area, he is not going to be here tonight, and unfortunately will not be competing for the championship. Chris Akers scored third in points right now, down 45 points. Did have a points possibility to win the championship here tonight. Sitting P3, he did not qualify. He is not in the session. So, the only other driver that could point in tonight, just down 48 total points. He's going to need a strong run throughout this entire race here tonight. Is going to be the driver qualified P2. Eddie Morris is going to be going out and fighting for a championship and fighting for every point on track here tonight. It's going to be a really good race here at Talladega. We're getting ready to go in just a few moments. Spencer Teal on the pole, Eddie Morris, Carl Lingle, Sean Stevens, Daniel Holloway, your top five. And as we mentioned, Rob Duvedek, Tyler Hertz, P7, Dalton Gibson, Grayson Pate, and Tyler Horst, your top 10. Kirby Caputa, Guy Braco, Ed Smith, Matt Binky, Ambrose Nebel, Darius Devati, and Brianna Laurent going to start on pit road this evening here at Talladega. They are behind the pace truck and rolling around. It's going to be a good time here tonight. Another super speedway race here on Monday night. This is going to conclude the American Sim Racing Tour season. And I tell you what, it's been a great run with these drivers. Last week, you know, we had to call that race from a hotel room through a Discord call. But still, nonetheless, we got it in. We got it done. And it was great racing. But tonight, it's all about this championship here at Talladega. This was driver and owner-picked track and car combo. And with only 17 drivers on track here tonight, it's guaranteed to be a really solid race. Again, behind the pace truck, they get ready to go. We're going to talk about the future of this group and how that's going to play into it. I do believe they're going to take the next couple months off and then re-rack it just similar to OSR on Thursday night, which, by the way, will come to their summer break after Thursday night's race. And then tomorrow night, Downforce Racing Series is full throttle. We're with them for the next several weeks, really, between them and Sim 500, who is also taking a few weeks off. It's going to be a quiet couple weeks around Turn 1, but that's okay, because we're about to kick up the volume tenfold in this super speedway race here tonight. As I mentioned, two drivers, one championship. Who's going to be there at the very end? By the way, there's still a race to be won as well. Talladega, the 2.5-mile super speedway, 33 degrees of banking. It's going to be a wild ride, and you're right here on Turn 1. We appreciate it. They're going to come through the tri-oval. Spencer Teal, Eddie Morris, they're going to get it rolling. Green flag, championship racing at Dega underway. Rolling off into Turn 1. Eddie Morris is going to lead the charge on the outside. He's got Sean Stevens there with him. And then the 99 of Rob Duvedek going to be third outside line. That inside line not really rolling anywhere, but the outside's on the move. It's going to take a couple laps for these cars to get up to speed. Eddie Morris is going to bring that bottom line, the first three cars, right down to the bottom. That's going to include Sean Stevens and Rob Duvedek. It's going to leave that outside line hanging just a little bit. Everybody's scattered out. Almost a third line forming here. as they come through the tri-oval. Eddie Morris is going to be pointed with the leading the first lap here tonight. But that's not going to be the important one. As we talked about in pre-race, the 8 car, the only other championship contender besides the 99 here tonight, he has got to pretty much point his way through the stage breaks. He's got to get every point possible here tonight and win the race to be able to bring home a championship trophy. Right now, he's got a push from Sean Stevens, leading that bottom line. These drivers just now starting to get up to speed a little bit. The middle line starting to move through as well. I believe that is Tyler Hurt leading that group. That's Daniel Holloway on the bumper. Holloway, unfortunately, going to be missing his buddy in the 29 tonight. Chris Akers not able to make the race. And unfortunately, that he was going to be a strong championship contender in the mix as well. But all eyes are going to be on the 8 and the 99 here tonight, running 1 and 3 on that bottom line. Here comes that outside line, though. That's Tyler Hurt. And you see Holloway, the fastest lap of the race so far, just clocked there at a 50.01 out of the 21 car. That's a Candy Shack machine. We talk about those guys each and every week. Daniel Holloway pretty much mixed around anybody. He's going to be really, really fast. Now you're seeing it out there pushing Tyler Hurt to the lead here early at Talladega. All of a sudden now, Eddie Morris went from leading to sitting third. Rob Duvidak now sitting technically and scoring 6th. But it's very, very early here tonight. Here at Talladega, you see that race pattern, that grouping. These drivers can run 3 wide here pretty much without issue. Track's nice and wide. You will see a middle line for him fairly often. Oh! Eddie Morris makes contact with the wall after contact with Daniel Holloway. That's going to wreck several cars back behind him. Oh, they're going to hang on to it. No yellow. Everybody's going to scatter. Unfortunately, that is a big development for that 8 car. He is going to have significant right side damage. After making contact with the 21 and then making contact with the wall, that is going to reduce his pace. In the meantime, we go up front. Tyler Hurt, Sean Stevens, Ambrose Nebel, your top 3. Grayson Pate, Darius Davati, who started pretty much, I believe, second to last, currently running 5th at the moment. Rob Duvidak, again, that other championship contender. He now has Daniel Holloway right around him there, right behind him, running 8th. Eddie Morris, that was not the way he wanted to kick off the race, and he is quickly losing the draft. I imagine that right side damage, you see it there. That 8 car, that right front is tore up. He's going to get a 3-car pickup here. I believe that's Kirby Caputa and Ethan Horst, but I don't know if that's going to be enough. Eddie may have quite a significant amount of damage there, but he just needs to ride around till the pit stops here, which if we go green, will run all the way to lap number 20 or so here in these next-gen cars. So we'll see how that materializes and if that becomes a factor in it all. Again, I want to thank everybody for tuning in here tonight for the American Sim Racing Tour right here on Turn 1. Championship racing at its finest. Now Grayson Pate with a huge shove on the outside is going to move up front. And they're going to mix it up pretty hard up there. They were able to really get clear of that inside line, but it looks like they're going to leave somebody up high there. I believe that's, who is that? That's either Matt Bianchi or Dalton Gibson, now the 21. Daniel Holloway is going to get it competitive again. He's going to grab a car to latch onto. That's Matt Bianchi on the outside. Those 2 machines paired up as they come through the tri-oval here, lap number 7. And Bianchi's going to be credited with the lead that time. Let's take a quick look back again here with Eddie Morris. He still has that 2-car pack right behind him on the push. But it looks like they are losing time. They are. And now Duvidak. Although that's just, okay, sorry. That looked a little worse than it did. It looked like Duvidak was moving backwards. But right now, Eddie Morris leading this 3-car pack. It tried to get a push here. But currently, they are sitting 5.5 seconds, almost 6 seconds now, off the bumper of Carl Lingle, who is the last car in that lead pack. As we see Duvidak now making a high move there on the, or maybe making a move there on the high side. The 99 car just hanging out up there with Eddie Morris. Now currently running 6+ seconds back behind the 99 and lost the pack. This is really going to change the race for Duveneck. He needs to stay out of trouble. Really no point going up there and fighting too hard for the lead. He just needs to stay out front of the 8 here tonight. Speaking of out front, Dalton Gibson, our new leader here, lap number 8. He has the help from Daniel Holloway in the 21. Really, I would say anybody that partners up with that 21 is guaranteed to get to the front. You will often find Holloway up front, but right now, currently riding up there and hanging out on the lead is Dalton Gibson. On the outside, though, here comes Binky. He's bringing Grayson Pate with him. That outside line is getting some big runs here tonight so far. Not to be surprised here at Talladega as Pate's going to move down to the bottom, take the air off the nose of Matt Binky. Not Matt Binky, I apologize. That's Dalton Gibson there on the bottom. And he's going to lose pretty much that middle line that helped him get all the way up there. You see Guy Braco, he's up on the third line by himself, doing a little bit of side drafting, trying to make it work on the outside there. Looks like he is going to shift to the rear. You'll see a lot of that kind of come and go here. These super speedway races are really popular for that. A lot of drivers will get runs. They'll be able to see what they can do, who's good to run with, who their best partners are to partner up with. And then ultimately settle back to the pack. Oh, we see Binky get into the wall. He's nosed in hard. And going through the grass. Again, the green flag's going to stay out for now. Matt Binky, he's sideways. Oh, he's going to be a sideways across the track and he'll try to lock it down before making more contact with the wall. And there it is. The caution's going to be out just as that other pack slides by. Grayson Pate, Sean Stevens, Ambrose Devil. Your top 3 is we're under caution for the first time. Lap number 10 here at Talladega for the American Sim Racing Tour. Right on turn 1. They're going to get checked up. And get caught up with the pace truck here. The pace truck's going to get caught up with them. And I believe we'll see everybody come down pit road. Again, we were talking about pit stops and when fuel was going to matter. Well, they're about halfway through a green flag fuel run here, and we will see that most of this crew come down. Now, who this was best for? Well, that driver of the 8, Eddie Morris. He was down about a third of a lap already. Even though he had some help behind him, they were just not able to make speed. Eddie Morris is unfortunately going to have to use one of those faster pairs unless he feels like he could get enough speed out of the optionals on pit road. He's got tons of time here. He could spend 3 or 4 minutes down pit road, or at least 3 minutes. It's not going to hurt much under caution. This is a big track. It's going to take a long time for these guys to work their way around. So we'll pay close attention to the 8, see what he decides to do when he comes down pit road. We're going to step aside just a moment. Grayson Pate leading lap 11, championship racing on turn 1. We'll be right back. getting ready to go back. Green flag racing here as they take to lap number 14 at Talladega here tonight for the American Sim Racing Tour right here on turn 1. Hello, everybody. Daniel Holloway out of pit road first here tonight, so he's going to assume the lead here and be in control of the restart. Eddie Morris, we talked about him as he was on pit road for an extended period of time. Morris did, it does appear he did take on those fast repairs and was on pit road a little bit longer than everybody else. So we'll see how this all plays out. Either he burned that fast repair or he took on the optionals. We're gonna see how this all looks. Either way, Holloway, Pate, they're up front and they're gonna get us rolling here. Nebel, Dalton Gibson, Sean Stevens, your top 5 as they move back through the restart zone. All the way through the triangle to that restart zone they go. Daniel Holloway going to be the control car. And there you have it. Green flag back out. We're playoff racing once again at Talladega. Holloway on the bumper and Nebel moving down the high side here. While Grayson Pate leads to the bottom. Pate is going to have some help off the bumper. That's Dalton Gibson. They're running P2. It's going to be a drag race as they roll through 3 and 4. Coming back through the tri-oval, that outside line being led by Daniel Holloway. Nebel right there on the bumper. Continue to roll here, getting up to speed after coming back. Green flag racing at lap 14. Daniel Holloway is going to move to the bottom. Take the air off of Grayson Pate. The 21 poised to run up front here tonight and be a contender for this race win. Not in it for the championship while his teammate Chris Akers would have been. Either way, the 21 out front here tonight at Talladega. Highline starting to appear here. About 5 car lengths back, and then just like that, it's going to come apart. You see Eddie Morris now able to keep up with this big pack. Got those repairs taken care of. In the meantime, though, Daniel Holloway on the bottom. Free and clear out front is Holloway. Grayson Pate, P2 right to the bumper. Ambrose Neville, Dalton Gibson, and everybody else rolling pretty strong here. Now back up to full speed. Lap number 16. Holloway out front pretty hard. Grayson Pate is paired up with that 21. And a pretty strong run here. They've got about a 5 car length lead over Ambrose Neville as they roll back through the tri-oval. That won't last too long. This big pack, once they get organized, will be able to run down those leaders. And you see it there. Grayson Pate's going to drag the brake a little bit, slide back to Neville's going to pick him up. In the meantime, the outside line's coming to fruition. That is Dalton Gibson with the 99, our championship contender, Rob Duvedek. It is his show to lose here tonight. Remember, Eddie Morris has got to score every point possible plus a win here tonight to be able to contend in this championship. Or right now, not in leading shape, at least for the for this stage to come about. Oh, we've got cars on the bottom. That's Holloway. He's trying to hang on to everybody. He's going to scatter as they roll off into 3. Neville's going to be stuck down to the apron. Duvedek now is going to pull out the lead here. Cars got scatters. They rolled off into 3. Everybody survived somehow. Rob Duvedek, though, is now going to be up front. Again, our championship contender, leading laps here at Talladega. Sean Stevens on the bumper. Here comes the 21. He's paired right back up with another driver. That's Dalton Gibson. They're rolling on the high line. Two by two as they go down the backstretch. they're going to make it this time as they roll off into 3. Nobody's going to be stuck in the apron or a bunch of sideways shenanigans as Dalton Gibson nearly got clear of the 99. You see the 21 come off the bumper a little bit. Now gets glued back there, and they're rolling. That high line going to be a strong contender here tonight. Keep a close eye on that, especially as we get later in the race. You see the 21. He's got not only the leader, but himself clear, and they're both going to move down. They're going to take 3 drivers now. 3 drivers from the top line get clear of the high side with a gap. And the 99 looks like he's rolling around at half throttle at that point. You see such a strong run led there by the 7, the 21, and the 10. All because of that high line really working hard here tonight at Talladega. All of a sudden now, here comes Daniel Holloway as they came through the tri-oval, got off the bumper there of that Dalton Gibson machine, but that's because the 21 took the lead. A nice switch between those two. And now out front is Daniel Holloway leading here as they come down the backstretch for lap number 20. No concerns. We talked about at the top of the broadcast. Field runs about 20 laps in, but obviously all of these drivers are down pit road, lap 11, lap 12, and everybody has got enough fuel here to run another 8 or 10 laps before they have to come back down and see pit road. But we're going to start to see, I believe, a little bit of playoff racing, a little bit of points racing. What does the 99 try to do here as they come close to the end of the stage? And by the way, does Eddie Morris, is he able to get up there and make a play for points? Or is this just going to be the 99's night to shine as he's currently sitting 4th in a 5 or 6 car single file line there on the bottom as they roll down the backstretch here at lap number 21. Out front now, all of a sudden, a 10-car group on the bottom comes apart. Now Duvidek, he's going to come to follow the line. He's going to get hooked up with the 21. That's going to be a good tow on the outside. The 21 and the 99, he's also going to get Sean Stevens clear. And all of a sudden, that outside line, again, showing how powerful it can be with Daniel Holloway now up front. Rob Duvidek, Sean Stevens, and we got a car in the wall. Several cars make contact down the backstretch. The caution's going to be out. That's Guy Braco sideways. I believe that was Darius Devati also made contact. And that is going to bring out the caution here. Lap number 22 with Daniel Holloway leading as they roll out of turn number 4. Under caution here for the second time tonight. And our running order is, it's been quite a run so far here as they get caught up with the pace truck. We'll take a look in just a second, but this will bring everybody back down pit road. And this will pretty much bring everybody into the race, the natural race sequence we were going to have. But we were going to see pit stops happening about this time anyhow, had it stayed green. But nonetheless, now we're going to see him come back down pit road to take more fuel. Here on lap number 23, out front, Daniel Holloway, Rob Duvidek, Sean Stevens, Dalton Gibson, and Grayson Page, your top 5. Ed Smith, Carl Lingle, Eddie Morris, Spencer Teal, Ethan Horst, your top 10. And then it's Tyler Hurt, Matt Beakey, Kirby Caputa, Darius Devati, Brianna Laurent, Ambrose Neville, and Guy Braco making up the remainder of the field. We're going to step aside for just a second, and we'll cover the results of the pit stops right after this. You're watching Turn 1.
breath we give away, it'll never be the same. I'm chasing somebody who won't ever ease the pain, but I don't want half of your heart, heart, heart. You can have it back if it's only half of your heart. If it's only half of your heart. I feel like I'm afraid of the only things that can't change.
After the pit stops, Dalton Gibson, Grayson Payne, Eddie Morris, Carl Lingle, Ethan Horst, your top 5. Spencer Tilley, Sebel, Darius Devati, Brianna Laurent, and Ed Smith, your top 10. We saw a couple cars duck down pit road there at the tail end of those commercial breaks one more time. That was Daniel Holloway. He took, he's down pit road. He also took Rob Duvedek, I'm sorry, Sean Stevens with him as well, as Tyler Hurt, Kevin Caputa, all coming down pit road one more time to top off with fuel. Dalton Gibson, Grayson Pate going to be up front. Pace Truck's going to head down pit road. We're going to go back green flag racing here, lap number 26, but first they've got to come all the way down this Talladega Super Speedway front stretch. Remember, that start finish line is not in the traditional place in the center of the tri-oval. It is much further down the corner. We have several cars coming down pit road again. That's Tyler Hurt, Matt Binky. In the meantime, it is green flag, back out, and we're racing again at Dega. Grayson Payne on the high side. Not a huge run up there, but not fast enough to be able to side draft either. Dalton Gibson now has Eddie Morris glued to the bumper. This is what Eddie Morris needs to see here. He needs a strong run up front. I believe the stage has already come to a close, and I don't know if he was up there to get those points or not. Either way, though, he's going to need an impeccable night. Currently running second, just behind Dalton Gibson. It's a little bit chaotic. It's a 5-car single pack, and then you've got Brianna Laurent on the bottom. That's Carl Lingle. Couple other cars back here just hanging out 2 by 2, kind of scattered. Not really very organized. You see Rob Duvedek, he's way off the gas here. He's going to move down to the bottom. There's no point getting up there. The 99 needs to be in full conservation mode. This is his race. for his championship, and thus is this race to throw away here as he's going to move to the high side. Again, the path of least resistance and risk will be the way to the 99 success here. He's going to move to the high line. He picked up the 21. They're going to roll that high line pretty hard. Dalton Gibson's going to lead. He's going to have Morris again glued to that bumper. Ethan Horst right there with him as well. They're going to roll through the tri-oval here and take lap number 28 of 95. And, you know, we saw that car count be a little lower tonight, but that's a good thing. It's going to lead to a little bit more clean racing. Not really materialized just yet as we see Eddie Moore start to poke out just a little bit behind Dalton Gibson. Thinking about trying to make a run for it, but he needs assurance he's going to get some help. We've got cars back down on the apron, everybody scattering out back. I'm not sure what's going on there. They're going to keep it clean. In the meantime, though, Brianna Laurent is putting together a run on the outside. In the meantime, we're going to keep saying in the meantime, but Dalton Gibson going to lead the 4-car run on the bottom. Laurent there. She has got Daniel Holloway and Rob Dubedeck lined up behind her. An outside line on the move here. All of a sudden, that outside line dissolves. Merges, at least mostly back through the inside. With Dalton Gibson going to lead the charge on the bottom. Eddie Morris continued to stay up there and up front. That driver's got at least got the speed back in the 8 car. We saw him get involved with the 21 earlier here tonight. Right here in turn 1. Those two got connected, and Eddie Morris made solid contact with the right front against the wall. Lost actually about 7 seconds or so as we see that outside line start to come back to fruition here. I believe that's the 21 with the 99. No, nope, I am correct. That's right. They're going to make a run here and squeeze through. And all of a sudden, Daniel Holloway's out front. A commanding lead with Duvedeck right behind him. But we saw that 21.99 make contact. And unfortunately, the 21 and the 8. And the 8 car lost about 7 seconds. And thankfully, a caution came out before he lost too much time and potentially a lap. I don't know if he would have made the full fuel run if it stayed green. Was able to come down pit road and get those repairs fixed up. Eddie Morris, and we are talking about the 8 car of Eddie Morris, currently sitting 4th here tonight, running down the backstretch at Talladega. Daniel Holloway, Robert Duvedeck up front. And just cruising. Really, this line's kind of coming apart here just a little bit. No big push as I see that. They will get it all back together in about half a lap, I'm sure. But right now, the 21 and the 99 leading a pretty gapped group of about 8 cars here across the start-finish line. And then it looks like it is it's about a 1 second gap back to Sean Stevens leading a 5-car group. That's Grayson Payne. He's been up front for a good portion of tonight. Now currently rolling around 10th, Darius Devani. Spencer Teal, who started up front, and Brianna Laurent also making up that 4-car pack back there. Then you've got Kirby Kaputa all by himself here. And then so is Guy Braco and Tyler Hurt, all kind of running on their own currently here at Talladega after losing a bit of the draft. And there you have it. Holloway is going to take the lead away with the 99 with a huge shove here. It looks like Dalton Gibson is he's going to be pretty much put out the pasture on that high line. He's going to be able to tuck in there behind Eddie Morris. This 7-car group just minding their P's and Q's, clicking off laps here. No point in really pushing the issue. This pack here as well, not really again pushing it, but they're not losing time either. Still only about a second off the pace of Ed Smith up there. So really not falling too far behind in the grand scheme of things. It looks like our leader is actually going to catch up to Tyler Hurt and probably pick up. He's going to get a chance to pick up the draft. He's going to be a lap down, but Holloway here is going to roll by him, and he's going to be able to latch onto this group and at least conserve a little bit of speed, or pick up a little bit of speed, and ultimately be able to blend back in. And he'll have to decide how to get that lap back here as the race goes on. Everybody working by Tyler Hurt. Tyler going to move down and pick up that side draft a little bit. You should have no problem tagging on with this group. A little bit of side draft, and then the big bubble. They got punched through the air here. Everybody running single file. We'll see him move right down to the bottom there, right behind Ed Smith. He should be able to get that speed built up and latch on pretty strong. In the meantime, that second pack, that's Grayson Pate. He's in trouble. This group is broke apart a little bit now with Pate moving to the high line. It looks like Sean Stevens now is going to take that lead away there as we look a little further forward. And I'm not so sure Tyler Hurt can stay with this group all of a sudden. Maybe there's a little bit of damage on them. 16. He did not latch on to Ed Smith as well as I thought he would. In the meantime, let's take a look up front. The 21 to the 99 continue to lead. Eddie Morris, Dalton Gibson, and Ethan Horst, your top 5 here tonight for the American Sim Racing Tour, right here on Turn 1. Lap number 35 and 95. Championship racing at its finest with this group. It's been a phenomenal season. If you haven't tuned into an American Sim Racing Tour race, well, you've missed out on a lot of fantastic super speedway racing across the board with this group. This is going to conclude season 3, I believe it's for them. And they're going to take a little bit of a break. I do know they are going to come back. They do plan to put together another group of individuals to come racing. Whether or not that's going to be on Turn 1, that's left to be determined. We would love to be back with them, but at the end of the day, it's their decision, their call. And, ultimately, you've got to decide what's best, and we'll keep you updated on what we learn. But either way, it has been a phenomenal ride, a great season with these group of drivers. I've always appreciated their flexibility and their ability to put on a great show. Coming down the backstretch here, lap number 37. Let's ride on board with Dalton Gibson. He's led some laps here tonight. Made it look fairly easy. Let's see if we can get on board with that 7 car for a lap around Talladega. Daniel Holloway leads to lap number 41 here at Talladega. Closing in on the halfway point of tonight's championship race. Right here on turn 1. Daniel Holloway leading. Rob Duvidek of the 99. Points contender. Potential points winner. Here tonight, championship winner is going to squeak out. It's going to be, well, he's not going to squeak out a championship. It has been a hard-fought run. The 99 found some consistency in the post-race, I think, or in the postseason. I think he'll be the first to tell you it's been nice to find a little bit of speed in that 99 and consistency in finishes. In the meantime, though, right behind him, Eddie Morris. He needs an opera. He needs a stage. He needs a stage break. He needs points. He needs everything. He needs everything to kind of come to fruition here for him tonight, including, I believe, a win to be able to bring home the checkered flag. Right now, he is currently sitting there off the bumper of Dalton Gibson, running third. Eddie Morris has had an eventful race so far, and not the night I'm sure he envisioned competing for this championship. As we take a look here, this that 8-car pack, 7-car pack is now broken into a 5 and a 3-car group. But the 21 of the 99 continuing to lead that bottom line. Really the only line here. In the meantime, we look a little further back. That's Sean Stevens leading that backpack. Carl Lingle, that's a 5.5-second gap now. These drivers are certainly a little off the pace. I don't think that's necessarily by design anymore. They've lost the draft and certainly falling back here. And not ideal position to be in